Basel or Bâle is a city in northwestern Switzerland on the River Rhine. Basel is Switzerland's third most populous city with about 175,000 inhabitants. The official language of Basel is German, but the main spoken language is the local Basel German dialect. Basel is famous for its many museums, ranging from the Kunstmuseum, the first collection of art accessible to the public in the world and the largest museum of art in Switzerland, to the Fondation Baylor and the Museum of Contemporary Art, the first public museum of contemporary art in Europe. 40 museums are spread throughout the city canton, making Basel one of the largest cultural centers in relation to its size and population in Europe. The University of Basel, Switzerland's oldest university, and the city's centuries-long commitment to humanism, have made Basel a safe haven at times of political unrest in other parts of Europe for such notable people as Erasmus of Rotterdam, the Holbein family, Friedrich Nietzsche, Carl Jung, and in the 20th century also Hermann Hesse and Karl Jaspers. Basel was the seat of a prince-bishopric starting in the 11th century, and joined the Swiss Confederacy in 1501. The city has been a commercial hub and an important cultural center since the Renaissance, and has emerged as a center for the chemical and pharmaceutical industries in the 20th century. In 1897, Basel was chosen by Theodor Herzl as the location for the First World Zionist Congress, and altogether the Congress has been held there 10 times over a time span of 50 years, more than in any other location. The city is also home to the world headquarters of the Bank for International Settlements. The name of the city is internationally known through institutions like the Basel Accords, Art Basel and FC Basel. In 2019, Basel was ranked among the 10 most livable cities in the world by Mercer together with Zurich and Geneva. History. Early history. There are traces of a settlement at the nearby Rhine from the early Latène period. In the 2nd century BC, there was a village of the Röhrisee at the site of Basel Gasfabrik. The unfortified settlement was abandoned in the 1st century BC in favor of an oppidum on the site of Basel Minster, probably in reaction to the Roman invasion of Gaul. In Roman Gaul, Augusta Raurica was established some 20 kilometers from Basel as the regional administrative center, while a castrum was built on the site of the Celtic oppidum. In AD 83, the area was incorporated into the Roman province of Germania Superior. Roman control over the area deteriorated in the 3rd century, and Basel became an outpost of the Provincia Maxima Sequinorum formed by Diocletian. Basilia is first named as part of the Roman military fortifications along the Rhine in the late 4th century. The Germanic Confederation of the Alemanni attempted to cross the Rhine several times in the 4th century, but were repelled. One such event was the Battle of Solicinium. However, in the Great Invasion of AD 406, the Alemanni appear to have crossed the Rhine a final time, conquering and then settling what is today Alsace and a large part of the Swiss plateau. The Duchy of Alemannia fell under Frankish rule in the 6th century. The Alemannic and Frankish settlement of Basel gradually grew around the old Roman castle in the 6th and 7th century. It appears that Basel surpassed the ancient regional capital of Augusta Raurica by the 7th century. Based on the evidence of a gold tremissus with the inscription Basilia Fit, Basel seems to have minted its own coins in the 7th century. Basel at this time was part of the Archdiocese of Besançon, a separate bishopric of Basel, replacing the ancient bishopric of Augusta Raurica, was established in the 8th century. Under Bishop Hato, the first cathedral was built on the site of the Roman castle. At the partition of the Carolingian Empire, Basel was first given to West Francia, but it passed to East Francia with the Treaty of Meissen of 870. Basel was destroyed by the Magyars in 917. The rebuilt town became part of Upper Burgundy, and as such was incorporated into the Holy Roman Empire in 1032. Prince-Bishopric of Basel. From the donation by Rudolf III of Burgundy of the Moutier-Granville Abbey and all its possessions to Bishop Adalbero II of Metz in 999 until the Reformation, Basel was ruled by prince-bishops. In 1019, the construction of the Cathedral of Basel began under Henry II, Holy Roman Emperor. In the 11th to 12th century, Basel gradually acquired the characteristics of a medieval city. The main marketplace is first mentioned in 1091. The first city walls were constructed around 1100. A city council of nobles and burghers is recorded for 1185, and the first mayor, Heinrich Steinlen of Murbach, for 1253. The first bridge across the Rhine was built in 1225 under Bishop Heinrich von Thun, and from this time the settlement of Basel gradually formed around the bridgehead on the far river bank. The bridge was largely funded by Basel's Jewish community who had settled there a century earlier. For many centuries to come, Basel possessed the only permanent bridge over the river, between Lake Constance and the sea. The first city guild were the furriers, established in 1226. A total of about 15 guilds were established in the course of the 13th century, reflecting the increasing economic prosperity of the city. The Crusade of 1267 set out from Basel. Political conflicts between the bishops and the burghers began in the mid-13th century and continued throughout the 14th century. By the late 14th century, the city was for all practical purposes independent, although it continued to nominally pledge fealty to the bishops. The House of Habsburg attempted to gain control over the city. This was not successful, but it caused a political split among the burghers of Basel into a pro-Habsburg faction, known as Sterner, and an anti-Habsburg faction, the Citycher. The Black Death reached Basel in 1348. The Jews were blamed, and an estimated 50 to 70 Jews were executed by burning on the 16th of January 1349 in what has become known as the Basel Massacre. The Basel earthquake of 1356 destroyed much of the city along with a number of castles in the vicinity. A riot on the 26th of February 1376, known as Bose Fastnacht, led to the killing of a number of men of Leopold III, Duke of Austria. This was seen as a serious breach of the peace, and the city council blamed foreign ruffians for this and executed 12 alleged perpetrators. Leopold nevertheless had the city placed under imperial ban, and in a treaty of the 9th of July, Basel was given a heavy fine and was placed under Habsburg control. To free itself from Habsburg hegemony, Basel joined the Swabian League of Cities in 1385, and many knights of the pro-Habsburg faction, along with Duke Leopold himself, were killed in the Battle of Sempach the following year. A formal treaty with Habsburg was made in 1393. Basel had gained its de facto independence from both the bishop and from the Habsburgs and was free to pursue its own policy of territorial expansion, beginning around 1400. The unique representation of a bishop's crozier as the heraldic charge in the coat of arms of Basel first appears in the form of a gilded wooden staff in the 12th century. It is of unknown origin or significance, but it is assumed to have represented a relic, possibly attributed to Saint Germanus of Granfelden. This staff became a symbol representing the Basel diocese, depicted in bishops' seals of the late medieval period. It is represented in a heraldic context in the early 14th century, not yet as a heraldic charge but as a kind of heraldic achievement flanked by the heraldic shields of the bishop. The staff is also represented in the bishops' seals of the period. The use of the Basel stab in black as the coat of arms of the city was introduced in 1385. From this time, the Basel stab in red represented the bishop, and the same charge in black represented the city. The blazon of the municipal coat of arms is in Silber ein Schwarzer Baselstab. In 1412, the well-known Gosthof zum Goldenen Sternen was established. Basel became the focal point of Western Christendom during the 15th century Council of Basel, including the 1439 election of Antipope Felix V in 1459. Pope Pius II endowed the University of Basel, where such notables as Erasmus of Rotterdam and Paracelsus later taught. At the same time, the new craft of printing was introduced to Basel by apprentices of Johann Gutenberg. The Schwab Publishing House was founded in 1488 by Johannes Petri and is the oldest publishing house still in business. Johann Froben also operated his printing house in Basel and was notable for publishing works by Erasmus. In 1495, Basel was incorporated into the Upper Rhenish Imperial Circle. The Bishop of Basel was added to the bench of the ecclesiastical princes of the Imperial Diet. In 1500 the construction of the Basel Munster was finished. In 1521 so was the bishop. The council, under the supremacy of the guilds, explained that henceforth they would only give allegiance to the Swiss Confederation, to whom the bishop appealed but in vain. As a member state in the Swiss Confederacy, the city had remained neutral through the Swabian War of 1499 despite being plundered by soldiers on both sides. The Treaty of Basel ended the war and granted the Swiss Confederates exemptions from the Emperor Maximilian's taxes and jurisdictions, separating Switzerland de facto from the Holy Roman Empire. On the 9th of June 1501, Basel joined the Swiss Confederation as its 11th canton. It was the only canton that was asked to join, not the other way round. Basel had a strategic location, good relations with Strasbourg and Mulhouse, and control of the corn imports from Alsace, whereas the Swiss lands were becoming overpopulated and had few resources. A provision of the charter accepting Basel required that in conflicts among the other cantons it was to stay neutral and offer its services for mediation. In 1503, the new bishop Christoph von Utenheim refused to give Basel a new constitution, whereupon, to show its power, the city began to build a new city hall. In 1529, the city became Protestant under Oecolampadius and the bishop's seat was moved to Porrentruy. The bishop's crook was however retained as the city's coat of arms. For centuries to come, a handful of wealthy families collectively referred to as the Dague played a pivotal role in city affairs as they gradually established themselves as a de facto city aristocracy. The first edition of Christianae Religionis Institutio was published at Basel in March 1536. In 1544, Johann von Brugge, a rich Dutch Protestant refugee, was given citizenship and lived respectably until his death in 1556, then buried with honors. His body was exhumed and burned at the stake in 1559 after it was discovered that he was the Anabaptist David Joris. In 1543, De Humani Corporis Fabrica, the first book on human anatomy, was published and printed in Basel by Andreas Vesalius. There are indications Joachim Meyer, author of the influential 16th-century martial arts text Kunst des Fechten, came from Basel. In 1662 the Amer Basch's Cabinet was established in Basel as the first public museum of art. Its collection became the core of the later Basel Museum of Art. The Bernoulli family, which included important 17th and 18th century mathematicians such as Jacob Bernoulli, Johann Bernoulli and Daniel Bernoulli, were from Basel. The 18th century mathematician Leonhard Euler was born in Basel and studied under Johann Bernoulli. Modern history. In 1792, the Republic of Rhoratia, a revolutionary French client republic, was created. It lasted until 1793. After 3 years of political agitation and a short civil war in 1833, the disadvantaged countryside seceded from the canton of Basel, forming the half-canton of Basel-Landschaft. On 3 July 1874, Switzerland's first zoo, the Zoo Basel, opened its doors in the south of the city towards Binningen. In 1897 the First World Zionist Congress was held in Basel. Altogether the World Zionist Congress was held in Basel 10 times, more than in any other city in the world. On 16 November 1938, the psychedelic drug LSD was first synthesized by Swiss chemist Albert Hofmann at Sandoz Laboratories in Basel. In 1967, the population of Basel voted in favor of buying 3 works of art by painter Pablo Picasso which were at risk of being sold and taken out of the local Museum of Art, due to a financial crisis on the part of the owner's family. Therefore, Basel became the first city in the world where the population of a political community democratically decided to acquire works of art for a public institution. Pablo Picasso was so moved by the gesture that he subsequently gifted the city with an additional 3 paintings. Basel is a historical, international meeting place. Basel has often been the site of peace negotiations and other international meetings. The Treaty of Basel ended the Swabian War. 2 years later Basel joined the Swiss Confederation. The Peace of Basel in 1795 between the French Republic and Prussia and Spain ended the first coalition against France during the French Revolutionary Wars. In more recent times, the World Zionist Organization held its first Congress in Basel from the 29th of August through the 31st of August 1897. Because of the Balkan Wars, the Second International held an extraordinary Congress at Basel in 1912. In 1989, the Basel Convention was opened for signature with the aim of preventing the export of hazardous waste from wealthy to developing nations for disposal. Name. The name of Basel is first recorded as Basilia in the 3rd century, at the time referring to the Roman castle. This name is mostly interpreted as deriving from the personal name Basilius, from a toponym Villa Basilia or similar. Another suggestion derives it from a name Basilia attested in northern France as a development of basilica, the term for a public or church building, but all of these names reference early church buildings of the 4th or 5th century and cannot be adduced for the 3rd century attestation of Basilia. By popular etymology, or simple assonance, the basilisk becomes closely associated with the city, used as heraldic supporter from 1448, represented on coins minted by the city, and frequently found in ornaments. The Middle French form bal was adopted into English. French ball was still in use in the 18th century, but was gradually replaced by the modern French spelling bale. In English usage, the French spelling ball continues to be used alongside the German spelling Basel. In Icelandic, the city is recorded as Buslaraborg in the 12th century itinerary Leirvasir og Borgarskipan. Geography and climate. Location. Basel is located in northwestern Switzerland and is commonly considered to be the capital of that region. It is close to the point where the Swiss, French and German borders meet, and Basel also has suburbs in France and Germany. As of 2016, the Swiss Basel agglomeration was the third largest in Switzerland, with a population of 541,074 municipalities in Switzerland. The initiative Trinational Eurodistrict Basel of 62 suburban communes including municipalities in neighboring countries, counted 829,000 inhabitants in 2007. Topography. Basel has an area, as of 2009, of 23.91 square kilometers. Of this area, 0.95 kilometers or 4.0% is used for agricultural purposes, while 0.88 kilometers or 3.7% is forested. Of the rest of the land, 20.67 kilometers or 86.4% is settled, 1.45 kilometers or 6.1% is either rivers or lakes. Of the built-up area, industrial buildings made up 10.2% of the total area while housing and buildings made up 40.7% and transportation infrastructure made up 24.0%. Power and water infrastructure as well as other special developed areas made up 2.7% of the area while parks, green belts and sports fields made up 8.9%. Out of the forested land, all of the forested land area is covered with heavy forests. Of the agricultural land, 2.5% is used for growing crops and 1.3% is pastures. All the water in the municipality is flowing water. Climate. Under the Köppen system, Basel features a continental-influenced oceanic climate, due to its relatively far inland position. The city averages 120.4 days of rain or snow annually and on average receives 842 millimeters of precipitation. The wettest month is May, during which time Basel receives an average of 99 millimeters of rain. The month with the most days of precipitation is also May, with an average of 12.4 days. The driest month of the year is February with an average of 45 millimeters of precipitation over 8.4 days. Politics. The city of Basel functions as the capital of the Swiss half-canton of Basel-Stadt. Canton. The canton Basel-Stadt consists of 3 municipalities: Rien, Bettingen, and the city Basel itself. The political structure and agencies of the city and the canton are identical. City. Quarters. The city itself has 19 quarters. Grossbasel. 1 Altstadt Grossbasel, 2 Vorstadt, 3 Am Ring, 4 Breita, 5 Street Alban, 6 Gundeldingen, 7 Bruderholz, 8 Bachlitten, 9 Gotthelf, 10 Islin, 11 Street Johann, Kleinbasel, 12 Altstadt Kleinbasel, 13 Clara, 14 Wettstein, 15 Hersbrunnen, 16 Rosenthal, 17 Matthias, 18 Kleibeck, 19 Kleinhunningen. Government. The canton's executive, the Executive Council, consists of 7 members for a mandate period of 4 years. They are elected by any inhabitant valid to vote on the same day as the parliament, but by means of a system of majors, and operates as a collegiate authority. The president is elected as such by a public election, while the heads of the other departments are appointed by the collegiate. The current president is Beat Jans. The executive body holds its meetings in the Red Town Hall on the central Marktplatz. The building was built in 1504-14. As of 2021, Basel's Executive Council is made up of 3 representatives of the SP including the President, 2 LDP, and 1 member each of Green Liberals, and CVP. The last election was held on the 25th of October and the 29th of November 2020 and 4 new members have been elected. Barbara Schupbach-Guggenbulis is state chronicler since 2009, and Marco Greiner is head of communication and vice state chronicler since 2007 for the Executive Council. Parliament. The Parliament, the Grand Council of Basel-Stadt, consists of 100 seats, with members elected every 4 years. The sessions of the Grand Council are public. Unlike the members of the Executive Council, the members of the Grand Council are not politicians by profession, but they are paid a fee based on their attendance. Any resident of Basel allowed to vote can be elected as a member of the Parliament. The delegates are elected by means of a system of proporz. The legislative body holds its meetings in the Red Town Hall. The last election was held on the 25th of October 2021 for the mandate period of 2021 to 2025. As of the 1st of February 2021, the Grand Council consists of 30 members of the Social Democratic Party, 18 Grün Alternatives Bündnis, 14 Liberal Demokratische Partei, 11 members of the Swiss People's Party, 8 Green Liberal Party, 7 the Liberals, 7 Christian Democratic People's Party, 3 Evangelical People's Party, and 1 each representative of the Active Bettingen and Volksaktion gegen Zuwähle Ausländer und Asylanten in unserer Heimat. The left parties missed an absolute majority by 2 seats. Federal elections. National Council. In the 2019 federal election, the most popular party was the Social Democratic Party, which received 2 seats with 34% of the votes. The next 5 most popular parties were the Green Party, the LPS and the FDP, which are chained together at 20.3%, the SVP, and the Green Liberal Party, CVP. In the federal election, a total of 44,628 votes were cast, and the voter turnout was 49.4%. On the 18th of October 2015, in the federal election, the most popular party was the Social Democratic Party, which received 2 seats with 35% of the votes. The next 3 most popular parties were the FDP, the SVP, and the Green Party, each with 1 seat. In the federal election, a total of 57,304 votes were cast, and the voter turnout was 50.4%. Council of States. On the 20th of October 2019, in the federal election, Eva Herzog, member of the Social Democratic Party, was elected for the first time as a state councillor in the first round as single representative of the canton of Basel town and successor of Anita Fetz in the National Council of States with an absolute majority of 37 feet 210 votes. On the 18th of October 2015, in the federal election, state councillor Anita Fetz, member of the Social Democratic Party, was re-elected in the first round as single representative of the canton of Basel town in the National Council of States with an absolute majority of 35 feet 842 votes. She has been a member of it since 2003. International relations. Twin towns and sister cities. Basel has 2 sister cities and a twinning among 2 states. Shanghai, China, since 2007. U.S. state of Massachusetts, since 2002. Miami Beach, U.S., since 2011. Partner cities. Rotterdam, Netherlands, since 1945. Demographics. Population. Basel has a population of 178,120. As of 2015, 35.5% of the population are resident foreign nationals. Over the last 10 years, the population has changed at a rate of -0.3%. It has changed at a rate of 3.2% due to migration and at a rate of -3% due to births and deaths. Of the population in the municipality, 58,560 or about 35.2% were born in Basel and lived there in 2000. There were 1,396 or 0.8% who were born in the same canton, while 44,874 or 26.9% were born somewhere else in Switzerland, and 53,774 or 32.3% were born outside of Switzerland. In 2008, there were 898 live births to Swiss citizens and 621 births to non-Swiss citizens, and in same time span there were 1,732 deaths of Swiss citizens and 175 non-Swiss citizen deaths. Ignoring immigration and emigration, the population of Swiss citizens decreased by 834 while the foreign population increased by 446. There were 207 Swiss men and 271 Swiss women who emigrated from Switzerland. At the same time, there were 1,756 non-Swiss men and 1,655 non-Swiss women who immigrated from another country to Switzerland. The total Swiss population change in 2008 was an increase of 278 and the non-Swiss population increased by 1,138 people. This represents a population growth rate of 0.9%. As of 2000, there were 70,502 people who were single and never married in the municipality. There were 70,517 married individuals, 12,435 widows or widowers and 13,104 individuals who are divorced. As of 2000, the average number of residents per living room was 0.59, which is about equal to the cantonal average of 0.58 per room. In this case, a room is defined as space of a housing unit of at least 4 meters as normal bedrooms, dining rooms, living rooms, kitchens and habitable cellars and attics. About 10.5% of the total households were owner-occupied, or in other words did not pay rent. As of 2000, there were 86,371 private households in the municipality, and an average of 1.8 persons per household. There were 44,469 households that consist of only one person and 2,842 households with 5 or more people. Out of a total of 88,646 households that answered this question, 50.2% were households made up of just one person, and there were 451 adults who lived with their parents. Of the rest of the households, there are 20,472 married couples without children, 14,554 married couples with children. There were 4,318 single parents with a child or children. There were 2,107 households that were made up of unrelated people and 2,275 households that were made up of some sort of institution or another collective housing. In 2000 there were 5,747 single-family homes out of a total of 18,631 inhabited buildings. There were 7,642 multi-family buildings, along with 4,093 multi-purpose buildings that were mostly used for housing and 1,149 other use buildings that also had some housing. Of the single-family homes, 1090 were built before 1919, while 65 were built between 1990 and 2000. The greatest number of single-family homes were built between 1919 and 1945. In 2000 there were 96,640 apartments in the municipality. The most common apartment size was 3 rooms, of which there were 35,958. There were 11,957 single-room apartments and 9,702 apartments with 5 or more rooms. Of these apartments, a total of 84,675 apartments were permanently occupied, while 7,916 apartments were seasonally occupied and 4,049 apartments were empty. As of 2009, the construction rate of new housing units was 2.6 new units per 1,000 residents. As of 2003, the average price to rent an average apartment in Basel was 1,118.60 Swiss francs per month. The average rate for a one-room apartment was 602 Swiss francs and 27 Rappen. A two-room apartment was about 846 Swiss francs and 52 Rappen. A three-room apartment was about 1,054 Swiss francs and 14 Rappen, and a six or more room apartment cost an average of 2,185 Swiss francs and 24 Rappen. The average apartment price in Basel was 100.2% of the national average of 1,116 Swiss francs. The vacancy rate for the municipality, in 2010, was 0.74%. Historical population. Language. Most of the population speaks German, with Italian being second most common and French being third. There are 202 persons who speak Romansh. Religion. From the 2000 census, 41,916 or 25.2% were Roman Catholic, while 39,180 or 23.5% belonged to the Swiss Reformed Church. Of the rest of the population, there were 4,567 members of an Orthodox Church, 459 individuals who belonged to the Christian Catholic Church, and 3,464 individuals who belonged to another Christian church. There were 12,368 individuals who were Muslim, 1,325 individuals who were Jewish. However, only members of religious institutions are counted as such by the municipality, which makes the actual number of people of Jewish descent living in Basel considerably higher. There were 746 individuals who were Buddhist, 947 individuals who were Hindu, and 485 individuals who belonged to another church. 52,321 belonged to no church, are agnostic or atheist, and 8,780 individuals did not answer the question. Infrastructure. Quarters. Basel is subdivided into 19 quarters. The municipalities of Rien and Bettingen, outside the city limits of Basel, are included in the canton of Basel-Stadt as rural quarters. Transport. Basel's airport is set up for air freight. Heavy goods reach the city and the heart of continental Europe from the North Sea by ship along the Rhine. The main European routes for the highway and railway transport of freight cross in Basel. The outstanding location benefits logistics corporations, which operate globally from Basel. Trading firms are traditionally well represented in the Basel region. Port. Basel has Switzerland's only cargo port, through which goods pass along the navigable stretches of the Rhine and connect to ocean-going ships at the port of Rotterdam. Air transport. Euro Airport Basel-Mulhouse-Freiburg is operated jointly by two countries, France and Switzerland, although the airport is located completely on French soil. The airport itself is split into two architecturally independent sectors, one half serving the French side and the other half serving the Swiss side. Prior to Schengen, there was an immigration inspection point at the middle of the airport so that people could emigrate to the other side of the airport. Railways. Basel has long held an important place as a rail hub. 3 railway stations, those of the German, French and Swiss networks, lie within the city. Basel-Badischer Bahnhof is on the opposite side of the city. Basel's local rail services are supplied by the Basel Regional S-Bahn. The largest goods railway complex of the country is located just outside the city, spanning the municipalities of Muttens and Pratteln. The new high-speed ice railway line from Karlsruhe to Basel was completed in 2008, while Phase 1 of the TGV Rin-Rhône line, opened in December 2011, has reduced travel time from Basel to Paris to about 3 hours. Roads. Basel is located on the A3 motorway. Within the city limits, 5 bridges connect Greater and Lesser Basel. Schwarzwaldbrück, Wettsteinbrück, Mittlerer Rheinbrück, Johanniterbrück, Drerosenbrück, ferries. A somewhat anachronistic yet still widely used system of reaction ferry boats links the two shores. There are 4 ferries, each situated approximately midway between 2 bridges. Each is attached by a cable to a block that rides along another cable spanning the river at a height of 20 to 30 meters. To cross the river, the ferryman orients the boat around 45 degrees from the current so that the current pushes the boat across the river. This form of transportation is therefore completely hydraulically driven, requiring no outside energy source. Public transport. Basel has an extensive public transportation network serving the city and connecting to surrounding suburbs, including a large tram network. The green-colored local trams and buses are operated by the Baseler Verkehrsbetrieb. The yellow-colored buses and trams are operated by the Baselen Transport, and connect areas in the nearby half-canton of Baselen to central Basel. The BVB also shares commuter bus lines in cooperation with transit authorities in the neighboring Alsace region in France and Baden region in Germany. The Basel Regional S-Bahn, the commuter rail network connecting to suburbs surrounding the city, is jointly operated by SBB, SNCF and DB. Border crossings. Basel is located at the meeting point of France, Germany, and Switzerland. Because it sits on the Swiss national border and is beyond the Jura Mountains, many within the Swiss military reportedly believe that the city is indefensible during wartime. It has numerous road and rail crossings between Switzerland and the other 2 countries. With Switzerland joining the Schengen area on the 12th of December 2008, immigration checks were no longer carried out at the crossings. However, Switzerland did not join the European Union Customs Union, and customs checks are still conducted at or near the crossings. France-Switzerland. Road crossings. Kohlenstrasse. This crossing replaces the former crossing Hunninger Strasse further east. Elsässer Strasse. Autobahn A3. Euro Airport Basel-Mulhouse-Freiburg. Pedestrian walkway between the French and Swiss sections on level 3 of airport. Bergfelder Strasse. Railway crossing. Basel SBB railway station. Germany-Switzerland. Road crossings. Hilltalinger Strasse. Tram 8 goes along this road to Weil am Rhein. The extension opened in 2014. It used to end before the border. Autobahn A2. Freiburger Strasse. Weil Strasse, Rien. Loricher Strasse, Rien. Inselinger Strasse, Rien. Grenzacher Strasse. Railway crossing. Between Basel SBB and Basel-Badischer Bahnhof. Basel-Badischer Bahnhof, and all other railway property and stations on the right bank of the Rhine belong to DB and are classed as German customs territory. Immigration and customs checks are conducted at the platform exit tunnel for passengers leaving trains here. Additionally, there are many footpaths and cycle tracks crossing the border between Basel and Germany. Health. As the biggest town in the northwest of Switzerland, numerous public and private health centers are located in Basel. Among others, the Universitätsspital Basel and the Universitätskinderspital Basel. The Anthroposophical Health Institute Klinik Arlesheim are both located in the Basel area as well. Private health centers include the Bethesda Spital and the Marion Island Clinic. Additionally, the Swiss Tropical and Public Health Institute is located in Basel too. Energy. Basel is at the forefront of a national vision to more than halve energy use in Switzerland by 2050. To research, develop and commercialize the technologies and techniques required for the country to become a 2000-watt society. A number of projects have been set up since 2001 in the Basel metropolitan area. These include demonstration buildings constructed to Minergie or Passive House standards, electricity generation from renewable energy sources, and vehicles using natural gas, hydrogen and biogas. A building construction law was passed in 2002 also, which stated that all new flat roofs must be greened, leading to Basel becoming the world's leading green roof city. This was driven by an energy-saving program. A hot dry rock geothermal energy project was cancelled in 2009 since it caused induced seismicity in Basel. Economy. The city of Basel, located in the northwest of Switzerland, is one of the most dynamic economic regions of Switzerland. As of 2016, Basel had an unemployment rate of 3.7%. As of 2018, 19.3% of the working population was employed in the secondary sector and 80.6% was employed in the tertiary sector. There were 82,449 residents of the municipality who were employed in some capacity, of which women made up 46.2% of the workforce. In 2008, the total number of full-time equivalent jobs was 130,988. The number of jobs in the primary sector was 13, of which 10 were in agriculture and 4 were in forestry or lumber production. The number of jobs in the secondary sector was 33,171, of which 24,848 were in manufacturing, 10 were in mining and 7,313 were in construction. The number of jobs in the tertiary sector was 97,804. In the tertiary sector, 12,880 or 13.2% were in wholesale or retail sales or the repair of motor vehicles. 11,959 or 12.2% were in the movement and storage of goods. 6,120 or 6.3% were in a hotel or restaurant. 4,186 or 4.3% were in the information industry. 10,752 or 11.0% were the insurance or financial industry. 13,695 or 14.0% were technical professionals or scientists. 6,983 or 7.1% were in education and 16,060 or 16.4% were in healthcare. In 2000, there were 121,842 workers who commuted into the municipality and 19,263 workers who commuted away. The municipality is a net importer of workers, with about 6.3 workers entering the municipality for every one leaving. About 23.9% of the workforce coming into Basel are coming from outside Switzerland, while 1.0% of the locals commute out of Switzerland for work. Of the working population, 49.2% used public transportation to get to work, and 18.7% used a private car. The Roche Tower, designed by Herzog and de Meuron, is 41 floors and 178 meters high. Upon its opening in 2015, it has become the tallest building in Switzerland. Basel has also Switzerland's third tallest building and Switzerland's tallest tower. Chemical industry. The Swiss chemical industry operates largely from Basel, and Basel also has a large pharmaceutical industry. Novartis, Syngenta, Ciba Specialty Chemicals, Clariant, Hoffmann-La Roche, Basilea Pharmaceutica and Actelion are headquartered there. Pharmaceuticals and specialty chemicals have become the modern focus of the city's industrial production. Banking. Banking is important to Basel. UBS AG maintains central offices in Basel. The Bank for International Settlements is located within the city and is the central banker's bank. The bank is controlled by a board of directors, which is composed of the elite central bankers of 11 different countries. According to the BIS, the choice of Switzerland for the seat of the BIS was a compromise by those countries that established the BIS: Belgium, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the United Kingdom and the United States. When consensus could not be reached on locating the bank in London, Brussels or Amsterdam, the choice fell on Switzerland. An independent, neutral country, Switzerland offered the BIS less exposure to undue influence from any of the major powers. Within Switzerland, Basel was chosen largely because of its location, with excellent railway connections in all directions, especially important at a time when most international travel was by train. Created in May 1930, the BIS is owned by its member central banks, which are private entities. No agent of the Swiss public authorities may enter the premises without the express consent of the bank. The bank exercises supervision and police power over its premises. The bank enjoys immunity from criminal and administrative jurisdiction, as well as setting recommendations which become standard for the world's commercial banking system. Basel is also the location of the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision, which is distinct from the BIS. It usually meets at the BIS premises in Basel. Responsible for the Basel Accords, this organization fundamentally changed risk management within its industry. Basel also hosts the headquarters of the Global Infrastructure Basel Foundation, which is active in the field of sustainable infrastructure. Air. Swiss International Airlines, the national airline of Switzerland, is headquartered on the grounds of Euro Airport Basel-Mulhouse Freiburg in St. Louis, Haute-Rhin, France, near Basel. Prior to the formation of Swiss International Airlines, the regional airline Crossair was headquartered near Basel. Media. Basler Zeitung and BZ Basel are the local newspapers. The local TV station is called Telebasel. The German-speaking Swiss radio and television SRF company, part of the Swiss Broadcasting Corporation SRGSSR, holds offices in Basel as well. The academic publishers Burkhauser, Karger and MDPI are based in Basel. Trade fairs. Important trade shows include Art Basel, the world's most important fair for modern and contemporary art, Basel World, Swissbau and IGEHO. The Swiss Sample Fair was the largest and oldest consumer fair in Switzerland. It was held from 2007 to 2019 and took place in Kleinbasel on the right bank of the Rhine. Education. Besides humanism, the city of Basel has also been well known for its achievements in the field of mathematics. Among others, the mathematician Leonhard Euler and the Bernoulli family have done research and been teaching at the local institutions for centuries. In 1910, the Swiss Mathematical Society was founded in the city, and in the mid-20th century the Russian mathematician Alexander Ostrovsky taught at the local university. In 2000, about 57,864 or of the population have completed non-mandatory upper secondary education, and 27,603 or have completed additional higher education. Of the 27,603 who completed tertiary schooling, 44.4% were Swiss men, 31.1% were Swiss women, 13.9% were non-Swiss men and 10.6% were non-Swiss women. In 2010, 11,912 students attended the University of Basel. 25% were foreign nationals, 16% were from Canton of Basel-Stadt. In 2006, 6,162 students studied at one of the 9 academies of the FHNW. As of 2000, there were 5,820 students in Basel who came from another municipality, while 1,116 residents attended schools outside the municipality. Universities. Basel hosts Switzerland's oldest university, the University of Basel, dating from 1460. Erasmus, Paracelsus, Daniel Bernoulli, Leonhard Euler, Jacob Burckhardt, Friedrich Nietzsche, Tadeusz Reichstein, Karl Jaspers, Carl Gustav Jung and Karl Barth worked there. The University of Basel is currently counted among the 90 best educational institutions worldwide. In 2007, the ETH Zurich established the Department of Biosystem Science and Engineering in Basel. The creation of the DBSSE was driven by a Swiss-wide research initiative Systems X, and was jointly supported by funding from the ETH Zurich, the Swiss government, the Swiss University Conference and private industry. Basel also hosts several academies of the Fachhochschule Nordwest-Schweiz, Fachhochschule NW, the FHNW Academy of Art and Design, FHNW Academy of Music, and the FHNW School of Business. Basel is renowned for various scientific societies, such as the Entomological Society of Basel, which celebrated its 100th anniversary in 2005. Volksschule. In 2005, 16,939 pupils and students attended the Volksschule, the obligatory school time, including kindergarten, primary schools, and lower secondary schools, of which 94% visited public schools and 39.5% were foreign nationals. In 2010, already 51.1% of all pupils spoke another language than German as their first language. In 2009, 3.1% of the pupils visited special classes for pupils with particular needs. The average amount of study in primary school in Basel is 816 teaching hours per year. Upper secondary school. In 2010, 65% of the youth finished their upper secondary education with a vocational training and education. 18% finished their upper secondary education with a federal matura at one of the 5 gymnasiums. 5% completed a Fachmatura at the FMS, 5% completed a Berufsmaturität synchronously to their vocational training, and 7% other kind of upper secondary maturity. 14.1% of all students at public gymnasiums were foreign nationals. The maturity quota in 2010 was on a record high at 28.8%. Basel has 5 public gymnasiums, each with its own profiles that entitle students with a successful Matura graduation to attend universities. And one Fachmaturitätsschule, the FMS, with 6 different major subjects that entitles students with a successful Fachmatura graduation to attend Fachhochschulen. 4 different Hochschulschulen allows vocational students to improve their knowledge and know-how. International schools. As a city with a percentage of foreigners of more than 35% and as one of the most important centers in the chemical and pharmaceutical field in the world, Basel counts several international schools including Academia International School, École Française de Bâle, Freys Gymnasium Basel, Gymnasium am Münsterplatz, Schweizerisch Italienische Primarschule Sandro Pertini, International School Basel and CIS Swiss International School. Libraries. Basel is home to at least 65 libraries. Some of the largest include the Universitätsbibliothek Basel, the special libraries of the University of Basel, the Allgemeine Bibliotheken der Gesellschaft für Gutes und Gemeinnütziges Basel, the Library of the Pädagogische Hochschule, the Library of the Hochschule für Soziale Arbeit and the Library of the Hochschule für Wirtschaft. There was a combined total of 8,443,643 books or other media in the libraries, and in the same year a total of 1,722,802 items were loaned out. Culture. Main sites. The Red Sandstone Munster, one of the foremost late Romanesque, early Gothic buildings in the Upper Rhine, was badly damaged in the Great Earthquake of 1356, rebuilt in the 14th and 15th century, extensively reconstructed in the mid-19th century and further restored in the late 20th century. A memorial to Erasmus lies inside the Munster. The city hall from the 16th century is located on the market square and is decorated with fine murals on the outer walls and on the walls of the inner court. Basel is also host to an array of buildings by internationally renowned architects. These include the Baylor Foundation by Renzo Piano, or the Vitra complex in nearby Weil am Rhein, composed of buildings by architects such as Zaha Hadid, Frank Gehry, Alvaro Siza Vieira and Tadao Ando. Basel also features buildings by Mario Botta and Herzog and de Meuron. The city received the Wacker Prize in 1996. Heritage sites. Basel features a great number of heritage sites of national significance. These include the entire Old Town of Basel as well as the following buildings and collections. Churches and monasteries: Old Catholic Prediger Kirche, Bischofshof with Collegiate Church at Rittergasse 1, Domhof at Münsterplatz 10-12, former Carthusian House of St. Margarethental, Catholic Church of St. Antonius, Lohnhof, Mission 21, Archive of the Evangelisches Missionswerk Basel, Münster of Ball, Reformed Elisabethenkirche, Reformed Johanniskirche, Reformed Lenhardskirche, Reformed Martinskirche, Reformed Pauluskirche, Reformed Peterskirche, Reformed Street Albankirche with cloister and cemetery, Reformed Theodorskirche, Synagogue at Eulerstrasse 2. Secular buildings. Badischer Bahnhof with fountain, Bank for International Settlements, Blaues Haus at Rheinsprung 16, Bruderholschule at Fritz Hause Strasse 20, Brunschweiler House at Hebelstrasse 15, Bahnhof Basel SBB, Bürgerspital, Café Spitz, Kupschweiss Company's Central Archive, Depot of the Archäologischen Bodenforschung des Canton Basel-Stadt, former Galician Paper Mill and Swiss Museum of Paper, former Klingenthal Kaserne with Klingenthaler Kirche. Foss Knoxbrunnen, Feuerschützenhaus at Schützenmattstrasse 56, Fischmarkbrunnen, Geltenzunft at Marktplatz 13, Gymnasium am Kohlenberg, Hauptpost, Haus zum Raben at Aschenvorstadt 15, Hohenfürstenhof at Rittergasse 19, Holsteinerhof at Hebelstrasse 30, Markgraflerhof, a former palace of the Margraves of Baden-Durlach, Mittler Rheinbruck, Stadtcasino at Steinenberg 14, Ramsteinerhof at Rittergasse 7 and 9. Rathaus, Rundhof building of the Schweizerischen Mustermesse, Safranzunft at Gerbergasse 11, Sandgrube at Rienstrasse 154, Schlossen Gundeldingen, Schoen's House and Schonerhof at Nadelberg 6, Wasgenring Schoolhouse, Seidenhof with painting of Rudolf von Habsburg, Spalenhof at Spalenberg 12, Spieshof at Heuberg 7, City Walls, Townhouse at Stadthausgasse 13, Totinggasseline 6, Weiss's house at Martinsgasse 3. Wildsch's house at Petersplatz 13, Haus zum Neuensinger at Speiserstrasse 98, Wolfgattesacker at Munchensteiner Strasse 99, Zerkindenhof at Nadelberg 10. Archaeological sites: the Celtic settlement at Gasfabrik, Munsterhügel and Altstadt. Museums, archives and collections. Basel calls itself the cultural capital of Switzerland. Among others, there is the Anatomical Museum of the University Basel, Barry Villen and Museum of Ancient Art Basel and Ludwig Collection, former Franciscan Barefoot Order Church and Basel Historical Museum, Company Archive of Novartis, Haus zum Kirschgarten, which is part of the Basel Historical Museum, Historic Archive Roche and Industrial Complex Hoffmann La Roche, Jewish Museum of Switzerland, Caricature and Cartoon Museum Basel, Karl Barth Archive, Kleines Klingenthal with Museum Klingenthal, Art Museum of Basel, hosting the world's oldest art collection accessible to the public, Natural History Museum of Basel and the Museum of Cultures Basel, Museum of Modern Art Basel with the E. Hoffmann Collection, Museum Jean Tingley Basel, Music Museum, Pharmacy Historical Museum of the University of Basel, Poster Collection of the School for Design, Swiss Business Archives, Sculpture Hall, Sports Museum of Switzerland, Archives of the Canton of Basel-Stadt, UBS AG Corporate Archives, University Library with Manuscripts and Music Collection, Zoological Garden. Theater and Music. Basel is the home of the Schola Cantorum Basiliensis, founded in 1933, a worldwide center for research on and performance of music from the medieval through the Baroque eras. Theater Basel, chosen in 1999 as the best stage for German-language performances and in 2009 and 2010 as Opera House of the Year by German opera magazine Opernwit, presents a busy schedule of plays in addition to being home to the city's opera and ballet companies. Basel is home to the largest orchestra in Switzerland, the Sinfonieorchester Basel. It is also the home of the Basel Sinfonietta and the Kammerorchester Basel, which recorded the complete symphonies of Ludwig van Beethoven for the Sony label, led by its music director Giovanni Antonini. The Schola Cantorum and the Basler Kammerorchester were both founded by the conductor Paul Socker, who went on to commission works by many leading composers. The Paul Socker Foundation, opened in 1986, houses a major collection of manuscripts, including the entire Igor Stravinsky archive. The Baroque orchestras La Cetra and Capriccio Basel are also based in Basel. In May 2004, the 5th European Festival of Youth Choirs opened. This Basel tradition started in 1992. Host of the festival is the local Basel Boys Choir. In 1997, Basel contended to become the European Capital of Culture, though the honor went to Thessaloniki. Museums. The Basel museums cover a broad and diverse spectrum of collections with a marked concentration in the fine arts. They house numerous holdings of international significance. The over 36 institutions yield an extraordinarily high density of museums compared to other cities of similar size and draw over 1 million visitors annually. Lucerne. Published by Wikipedia. Lucerne or Luzerne is a city in central Switzerland, in the German-speaking portion of the country. Lucerne is the capital of the canton of Lucerne and part of the district of the same name. With a population of approximately 82,000 people, Lucerne is the most populous city in central Switzerland, and a nexus of economics, transportation, culture, and media in the region. The city's urban area consists of 19 municipalities and towns with an overall population of about 220,000 people. Owing to its location on the shores of Lake Lucerne and its outflow, the River Reuss, within sight of the Mounts Pilatus and Rigi in the Swiss Alps, Lucerne has long been a destination for tourists. One of the city's famous landmarks is the Chapel Bridge, a wooden bridge first erected in the 14th century. The official language of Luzerne is German, but the main spoken language is the local variant of the Alemannic Swiss German dialect, Lucerne German. History. Early history and founding, 750–1386. After the fall of the Roman Empire beginning in the 6th century, Germanic Alemannic peoples increased their influence on this area of present-day Switzerland. Around 750 the Benedictine monastery of St. Leodegar was founded, which was later acquired by Murbach Abbey in Alsace in the middle of the 9th century, and by this time the area had become known as Luciaria. The origin of the name is uncertain. It is possibly derived from the Latin name of the pike, Lucius, thus designating a pike fishing spot in the River Reuss. Derivation from the theonym lugus has been suggested but is phonetically implausible. In any case, the name was associated by popular etymology with Latin lucerna, lantern, from an early time. In 1178 Lucerne acquired its independence from the jurisdiction of Murbach Abbey, and the founding of the city proper probably occurred that same year. The city gained importance as a strategically located gateway for the growing commerce from the Gothard trade route. By 1290, Lucerne had become a self-sufficient city of reasonable size with about 3,000 inhabitants. About this time King Rudolf I von Habsburg gained authority over the monastery of St. Leodegar and its lands, including Lucerne. The populace was not content with the increasing Habsburg influence, and Lucerne allied with neighboring towns to seek independence from their rule. Along with Lucerne, the three other forest cantons of Uri, Schwyz and Unterwalden formed the Eternal Swiss Confederacy, known as the Eigenosenschaft, on November 7, 1332. Later the cities of Zurich, Zug and Bern joined the alliance. With the help of these additions, the rule of Austria over the area came to an end.